Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of Painting with Victor Rigoli. Back in the shop in the garage here, continuing to work on our stretcher bars that I made. These are the 10 by 20s. Got them laid out. My mother-in-law gave me some frames. These are about 11 by 14, and I've been trying to straighten them up a little bit and get them prepped for some other projects. Just setting that over there to the side, but I've got the 3 10 by 20s here ready to go to get some canvas stretched on them. And I'm just going to kind of give you an overview here. I apologize, my sinuses are acting up today. But anyway, some of the materials or supplies that you're going to need to actually do the stretching of the canvas on your stretcher bars. Of course, you're going to need a good pair of scissors. Always use a little pencil here. I've got my roll of unprimed canvas. I've got my electric staple gun. I love this thing. You can get this on Amazon. It's a Bostik staple gun, electric. And then I've got my extra staples here that we're going to be using. And I also have a square here. This is about 24 inches, and I use this as a straight edge when I measure out the canvas and I get a straight line and I can cut it accordingly. One of the things that I did earlier is I kind of measured out for each one of these canvases, you know, how wide it's going to be, that kind of thing, long and what have you. And what I came up with is I'm going to need 15 inches of canvas right here and 25 inches here. And the reason why is because, of course, the canvas is going over the top. It's going to wrap around the side here, and then it's going to wrap around here. And this is about 1 inch. And so I want to have enough, at least 1 inch right there. It can overhang a little bit more. That's fine. But I want to have enough to where I can tighten it, pull it tight, get it stapled in without any problems. So with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll out some of the canvas here, and we're gonna do some cutting. So I'm gonna set all these off to the side. I will say one of the things that I did with these is I kind of rounded off the edges on the inside. So when that canvas, get over here and maybe you can see this a little better. When that canvas goes across right here, this is tapered down a little bit. So it should be off this right here. So if I do happen to press down a little bit in painting, I won't get a crease in there. And you definitely don't want that. One of the things I could have done, and I probably should have done, and I'll do it the next time, is I'll get my router out and just really round that off. Or I could have used another little thin piece right here, kind of a rounded piece, and just glued it on there, and that would have raised it up a little bit and it would have curved down. But anyway, I think these will work fine. We're just going to set these off to the side here. We'll set some of this. I just got a can of paint here that I was using earlier. We'll set all this up here. I get these rolls and keep them up in my studio. And we'll take our plastic off of it here real quick. Getting this off to the side here. Just being out here in the garage. Take these little rubber bands off of it, like so. Set that over there. Just use these little rubber bands. Sometimes I use them. One of the things I might do, because I can see it's put a little crease in there, and I don't like that. Now it will stretch out, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. But it will stretch out. Now I was using this roll of canvas earlier, as you can tell, and I got a little piece cut right here. Now it will not, work right here. So what do I need to do? One of the things I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this piece off, and I will use it at another time for another project. I could probably put it on an 8x10, which I have somewhere. So I'm just trying to get this cut a little bit. It does hang over a little bit right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come along and I'm just going to draw a little line right here, and I'm just going to cut this piece off. Okay. And I'll set it off to the side, and I'll use it another day. Some people like to get in here and just rip their canvas. Sometimes they seem to help so it doesn't fray so bad. But one of the things that I do, a little tip or secret, is when I attach this canvas, I take some PVA, which is a glue, and I'll just run it along the edge, and it stiffens it up and tightens it up. You can use some Elmer's glue all the way across there, and that'll keep it from fraying. So no big deal there. All right, so we'll set all this over here to the side. Roll this bad boy out. Got some little wrinkles in it, but that's okay because we're going to stretch this bad boy tight, and it's going to be great. So it's going to work out great. So I'm going to bring this over here to the edge. I don't know what happened here to the end and how it got kind of bent. It might have been just the way it was rolled up at the factory. All right, so I need 25 by 15. So what I'm going to do is move this over just a little bit more, roll that out just a little bit, and I do have my trusty measuring tape. I try to keep this in my pocket all the time because I'm always needing to measure something. You know, going down to the Goodwill, looking for frames and stuff like that. You know, I check them out and I said, okay, need to know what the dimensions are. So I'll just pull out my trusty measuring tape and voila, you got it. Okay, so that was 25 inches from this line here. Now it's about another inch or so right there, inch and a half. That's okay, I can trim that off. So what I'm going to do now is I know that I'm going to need 15, 30, and then 45. Now this I think is at least 48. It might be 50 some odd inches. So we're just going to measure this across right here. Yeah, we're at 66 inches. So yeah, I can get the three pieces across here. For those, it'll be 15, 30, and then 45. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put a mark on here. We're going to get this lined up straight, okay? Because I'm using this edge here of the canvas because I know it's straight. And I'm just going to come along and I'm going to get my glasses on, and I'll put my mark in there like that. And then I'm going to move it up a little bit more like this. You'll get it good and square. And I'm going to come in at 15, put the mark there. I know this is 25. We're going to put it there. Just slide that little table out of the way. Apologize if I get in front of the camera, but that's okay. We're just working this around. Okay. And what I can do is I can just do my line right there. Okay. Just like that. Okay. Now, what I can do is come in here and I can put the square down, get the marks, line it up to this mark I made here when I measured off 15. I'm putting my line right down through here just like that. And I'll come right up here to the top, get my square up there, and voila. So I've got my first piece here. And to check it before I cut, and just set it right in there like that. Okay. And flip that over because this is the side that's going against the canvas. Bring that up. Looks good here. Bring it up there. That's looking great. All right. So what we'll do is we'll just come down here. I'm going to run this down here just a little bit further. Make sure this is lined up right. And I'm just going to put a mark right here at 15. And I'm going to come up here, make sure it's good and square. So line it up my pencil line. So bring that down a little bit so it's even with that other line. Hold that in place. Go across. There's my 15 mark. It's going to go right there. Okay. And then we're going to come in here. And I know it's probably going to come out another 15 inches. But what I'm doing here, guys, is I'm making sure this is square. And I know it's not the full 15-inch across there, but that's okay. I'm just slowly, as I go along, lining this up and drawing my line across like that. So let me just measure that. So it'd be 15, 15. That should be 30, approximately 30 inches. I got just a little bit further to go here, which is fine. We'll get that lined up. We'll just draw it out just a little bit further. All right, that's good. Okay, now I can square this off right here using my good old square, and it's looking good. Find my 15 right there. I'm going to come down here, get it on my line. And then I got 15 right here. So I got my three pieces just right there. So what I can do is I can come in here and get this bad boy lined up with my mark. Draw it right on down. And then I'm going to come right in here like so. Pretty close. I mean, it came out to be just this one on here was, it looks like it's just like a 15 1/4, which is fine. You know, it's better to be too long than not long enough. Okay, so I'm going to put this down like that. Hold it in place because I'm just going to draw that out just a little bit. I could slide it up just a little bit like that. Just like that. Now this side's going to be just a little bit longer. Like I said, it's probably 1.5 inches, and that's okay, because when I go to stretch this on the canvas, if it overhangs a little bit, fine, no big deal. All I've got to do is I can just trim it off. So right now, I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to cut this like so. Get all this cut right up through here. One of these days, what I may try is I may just try ripping the canvas. I've seen some artists do that. Some cut, some rip, you know. But it's okay. All right. So I'm just going to come in here with this one. All the way up. So I've got 3 16 by 20 stretcher bars that I made. That was using the 1/4 round. It's a little bit more than a 1/4 round, a little bit more than a 1/4 inch round. But I did those and got them all sanded and everything, and they're ready. Got them cleaned up, all that. I wiped them down real good today, and they are ready to have some canvas, stretched on those as well. So one of the next projects I'll be working on is getting the canvas cut and stretched onto those bars. These are fun little things to do. Like I said in previous videos, if you're handy with some wood tools or know somebody that is, I mean, your spouse, a good friend, a family member, neighbor or something might have some woodworking tools, and I know they'd appreciate it if you just went over and said, hey, can you cut some of this for me? This is what I need. This is the angle that I need, those kind of things, and just have them cut it. And then, they might be able to help you glue things together and all that kind of stuff. But I think you gain a great appreciation for what the old masters had to go through back in the day in creating canvases and painting surfaces. I'm seeing more and more on YouTube and Instagram and things like that, social media, where people are ditching the canvases, the stretch canvases, and they're going to panels. Now, it could be a canvas panel that they purchased online. It could be something they bought, and I'll just call it a craft store or whatever. But they may make them themselves. You can do your own canvas panels. You can take an eighth of an inch MDF board that you can get at Hobby Lobby, not Hobby Lobby, but Lowe's, Home Depot, and you can cut the canvas and glue it on with PVA glue, that kind of thing, and attach it there, and then put your gesso on your canvas. Some people are doing that nowadays. Some are saying ditching the canvas entirely, and they're going with just a panel, a wood panel. It could be some type of birch wood, it could be pine, it could be whatever. And then, they'll put some gesso on it. They'll seal it for sure for moisture and things of that nature. Because the larger your panel, it is subject to warp over time. Your smaller pieces, 4x6, 5x7, 8x10, stuff like that, very slim chance that those will warp on you, okay? But you still want to put some sealer on it, okay? I've done some videos on that and how I seal the panels before I attach canvas to them. So I advise you to do that if that's what you want to do. All right, now we got our pieces cut. I'm just going to roll this back up. I don't think I'm going to put those little rubber bands on here. I'm going to go get some painter's tape, and I'm going to use the painter's tape to actually keep this rolled up. Because when you buy it, when I bought it in a roll, they usually have like a little piece of red tape around it, and after you use it a while and you're, rolling out canvas to work with and everything, after a while that tape just gets used and it doesn't stick as well as it used to. So I'm just going to kind of put this tape on here, and that tape holds well, and it doesn't put a crease or bind in your canvas, although, as I said, it will stretch out when you go to stretch it. So it's not that big of a deal, but I'm just going to put this painter's tape on here today and just show you what you can do with it. Okay, keep that. All right, so we got that. I'm going to put it back in its protective plastic sleeve here. You see I used some painter's tape in the past. All right, so we're going to slide this bad boy back up in here. This will help keep moisture, although in my house where this is at, there's not that much moisture content, etc. And make sure that tape's on there good, so it will stick to that plastic and come off. You be careful as you do that. So, there we go. All right, we got that up. And let's see, I got a little tie around here somewhere, and there it is. Little red tie. I'm gonna put this in here, seal that off a little bit. It's good. And we're just going to set this bad boy over here to the side for now. And there we go. All right, so we've got our canvas all cut, ready to go onto the stretcher bars. I may do a video later of actually stretching the canvas. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Looking good. Yeah, I like how that comes over. One of the things I do is you can see how I'm doing this. I'm pulling it up, and I don't have as much on this end, so I'm going to slide this down just a little bit. I'm going to try to get this bad boy centered in here as much as I can. And I want to try to make sure that my canvas is good and straight. You can kind of see where the weave is on your canvas, and so you can, get an idea, of how straight it is. And of course, as you put the canvas on the stretcher bars, you can stretch it out, and that'll work good for you. One of the things I'd advise too is when you start stretching your canvas, you have to be careful that you don't overdo it, and you get the canvas going on a wave like this because you stretched it too tight in one spot and not in another, and your canvas kind of is wavy at the top or bottom or whatever the case is, and I've seen that happen before. But these are ready to go. But anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in and checking out another episode of Painting with Victor Rigoli. If all goes well, I'm going to do a live stream tonight at 7 p.m. on this channel, and hopefully it goes well. I'm going to be working on a little painting. It's a little 8x10. It's got a boat in the foreground, and I'm just going to be, talking a little bit about what I'm doing and just, watch me paint. So take care, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Share this with your friends, family, and other artists. Leave me a comment below as to if there's something you'd like for me to talk about or cover. I'd be glad to do it. So take care, everybody, and we'll see you in the next episode.